opportunity to be here and speak at this occasion. I can't even begin to tell you what it means to me to see so many people come out into a community to support something as important as the Cadets. What I would like to do tonight, very briefly, I'd like to share some lessons I learned over the past 75 years, having the opportunity to live on this earth. And I will talk to you about contributions to the community and your commitment to such a thing. I'd like to take you back to 1942, at the time when the Cadets were formed here. There was a gentleman named Viktor Frankl, who you may or may not have ever heard of. Eventually, Viktor Frankl became one of the leading psychiatrists of the entire 20th century. In 1942, Viktor Frankl was writing a very small book called Man's Search for Meaning, and he was trying to put the world in the proper perspective. And as he was writing his book, he was captured by the Germans, and he was marched off to a camp called Auschwitz. We've all heard of Auschwitz, the concentration camp. He was going to spend more than 3 years there. While he was there, the Germans took his manuscript he'd been working on, and he threw it away, he burned it, and he went to prison empty-handed. And he remained empty-handed for the next 3.5 years. While he sat in captivity, he sat down and wrote a book in his head to give you an idea of what human capacity really is. And when he was released from captivity in 1945 at the end of World War II, he published his book. There's over 2 million copies floating around the world. And several years ago, a friend of mine sent it to me. He said, you need to read this. It has some very interesting information in there that you might relate to. And so I read the book. And every time I turned a page, I felt like I'd already read the book. I couldn't figure out why the book was so familiar. And so I went back and I read it again. And the second time through the book, I got to page 12, and I discovered in a very small paragraph on page 12, the entire book has been summarized. And what it says on page 12 is that in the concentration camp, every circumstance conspires to make the prisoner lose his hold. All the familiar goals in life are snatched away. What alone remains is the last of human freedoms, and that is the ability to choose one's attitude in a given set of circumstances. Well, what Viktor Frankl observed over a 3-year period in concentration camp was that all the people who came there, hundreds of thousands of people, faced on nothing more than their attitude, their perception of how the world was treating them. That determined what group they would be in when the war was over. And when the war was over, there were 3 groups. Group number 1, the largest group of all, every single person in group 1 died in captivity. Group number 2 was a relatively large group. Those people died not alive. But group 3 was a very, very tiny group. There was a tiny handful of people who honestly came out of captivity after all those years, and they had a smile on their face because they thought they had gotten a good deal there. And Viktor Frankl said, those are the people who understand the meaning of life. Viktor Frankl's philosophy about the world is very, very simple. He says, your life has no purpose, you have no life. And so I'd like to talk to you tonight about what's your purpose? Why are we here? What are we trying to achieve in our life on this earth? When I was a young man at 19 years old, I had no idea what I was going to do. I was going along, doing whatever happened every day. I didn't have a plan. I went to work for a company, and one of the men I worked with was much older than I was, and he belonged to an organization called the Junior Chamber of Commerce. And I don't know if you've heard of the Junior Chamber of Commerce. It's a very, very fine civic organization. I asked if I could join, and he said, no, you can't join because you have to be 21 to join, and I was only 19. But I liked their programs, what they were doing in the community. They had 4 major drives a year where they did fundraising, and at the end of the year, they piled all their money in a pile, and they bought very, very large Christmas dinners for 100 needy families. And I was very, very impressed. I was impressed with that to the point that I've never forgotten how good it felt to deliver those meals. I was allowed to join them, but I couldn't be an official member. The day I turned 21, they allowed me to join. And the day I joined, one of the things I had to do, I had to recite the J.C. Creed. And it's about 12 lines long, and it all very good, and I remember most of it. But what I remember most is the last line, because at the top it says, we believe, and then it lists these items. The last line says, service to humanity is the greatest work in life. And I found that to be probably one of the most rewarding ideas that I've ever been exposed to. It wasn't until I was 30, exactly 9 years later, I was sitting in a concentration camp of my own in North Vietnam on my birthday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The guards opened the door to our cell, and they brought this lifeless body, threw it on the floor of our cell, and they said, he's one of yours. You take care of him. We're tired of working with him. And it was an American private who had been beaten very severely for 30 days, and he was totally incoherent. He was bruised from head to toe. He was cut. He was mangled. He had sores all over him, and he just couldn't function any longer. And he didn't have a whole lot to say, and what he said was very incoherent, but the one thing that he made very clear was that he was prepared to die right there. He was tired of doing this. After 2 days of not eating, not drinking, not doing anything, we were carrying him down and washing him and trying to clean him up, but the man wouldn't eat or drink. And it came to my attention that if we didn't do something, the man was going to die. But I happened to be the junior man in that cell. There were several other guys who were older. But we got into a rather serious argument. Some people thought that he was faking, and if he got hungry, he would eat. I was of belief that if he didn't eat, he was going to die. So the senior man turned to me and he said, you're so smart, you can eat me. And so I decided I would. It took 4 people to feed this man, because he didn't want to eat. He was serious. He didn't want to eat at all. It took 1 man to hold his legs down, 1 man to hold his right arm, 1 man to hold his left arm, and then I sat beside him in his armpit, his right side, and tried to open his mouth. And I don't know if you've ever tried to open a man's mouth. He doesn't want to open his mouth. It's not as simple as it looks. Tried a little aluminum spoon we had, tried prying his teeth apart, cut his lip pretty seriously, but didn't get his teeth apart. And so I then decided the only way I could think of to open his mouth was to smother him. So I held his nose, held his mouth, suffocated him. And after a little while, even though he said he wanted to die, that wasn't the way he wanted to die. And so he started spluttering his chest doing this. And all of a sudden, he gasped for air. And I let his mouth go. It opened his mouth wide. I had a piece of a tree limb that I had stolen from out in the garden, and I stuck it in his mouth so he couldn't close his mouth. And then I sat there with a spoon, and I filled his mouth so he went flat on his back, pushed it down his throat with my finger until he choked and swallowed. It took 4 guys 2 hours to feed me 1 meal, and we did that twice a day for a year. We kept him alive, and we put weight on the man just by holding him down and let him eat what he wanted to or not. And it was a very interesting summer. Summer 1968, I had gone from 175 pounds down to 96 pounds. I had a broken jaw, and I had more than 200 boils all over my body. And I've always said, that was the year I should have died. You know why I didn't die? Because I had something more important to do. I had to take care of a man who had a much greater problem than I did. And that's when what Jason Creed said, service to many is the greatest work of life, suddenly became very, very deeply entrenched in my soul. I knew what it was all about. Well, many, many years later, I had the privilege of hearing a very interesting story that I think applies to what we're here to talk about tonight. I just read this article maybe in the last 6 months. It's a man telling a story about his son, Shay. And this is an American story, and so if you don't follow it completely, I understand, but I think you'll get the gist of it. Shay was born physically and mentally handicapped so severely that he couldn't do most of the things that other children did. Shay was 11 years old. His only joy in life was going, his father would take him down to the local baseball park, and he would watch his local teams play baseball. Well, one night, they were on the way down to the park, and Shay turned to his father and he said, I want to play ball tonight. And his father was stunned because he'd never asked to play. He only watched. And his father knew there was no way Shay could play ball. But his father didn't have the courage to say, no, you can't do that. So his father said, okay, Shay, come along. Go play. So he took him to the ballpark. He went over to one of the coaches of the team. This was the city championship. 2 big teams in town. He went up to the coach and he said, you see Shay here all the time watching your team? Come on, he wants to play on your team. And you know what's going through the coach's mind. This is a championship. This is not the right time to do this. But the coach said, all right, Shay, come on. We'll let you on the team. So he let him play in a position where he thought that he wouldn't be harmful to the outcome of the game. They go all the way through the game, and they come down to American baseball. It goes 9 innings normally. In the 9th inning, the home team was behind by 3 runs. And it was now or never before they were going to lose the game. So the first man got up and he got on base, and the next man got on base, and the next guy got on base, and pretty soon the bases were loaded. The 3 runs that would tie the game are on the bases, and naturally it's Shea's turn to bat. And his father was heartbroken. He got he says, what a devastating experience to get this far and not really finish. And the coach turned to him and said, Shea, it's your turn to bat. And nobody could believe it. The pitcher on the other team recognized the situation, and so he came partway from the pitcher's mound down to the home plate, and he threw the ball gently underhand to give Shea a chance to hit the ball. And Shea just stood there and went right by him. He didn't even know what to do. So the pitcher walked all the way down and Shea swung the bat, hit the ball went unbound back to the pitcher. All the pitcher has to do is throw the ball to first base, make an out, and it's over. The pitcher turned and threw the ball over the first baseman's head into the outfield. And the catcher behind the plate yelled at Shea and says, run, Shea, run. Shea had no idea what he was talking about. So the catcher took him by the arm and he ran him down to face path. And the pitcher joined him. And the first baseman joined him. And the outfielder has the ball. All he has to do is throw it back to the infield. They'll put him out someplace along the road. You see the outfielder throws the ball into the grandstand with the patrons. And each baseman joined with him, and they all ran. And Shea completed an inside the park home run, scored 4 runs, and the home team won. 11 days later, Shea died. And his father was saying at the funeral, he said, you know what I remember more than anything else in Shea's life? The night that the community came together, we played a ball game, and nobody lost. That's called commitment to a community. Something bigger than just winning the game. And that is when everybody gets involved and everybody does the right thing for the right reason and make this a better place to live. And that's why we're here tonight. If I digress slightly back to 1961, the 20th of January 1961, John F. Kennedy was elected president of the United States. And in his inaugural address, John Kennedy stood up and said, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask instead what you can do for your country. The people sitting in the volunteer side here recognized the call, and they stood up and did something for their country, for the community. And so I'd like you to all stand again. I'd like to recognize you one more time. Thank you for everything you've done, what you stand for. Thank you very much.